Muted. There we go. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binary finies and hellions of all walks of life, and welcome to Black History Month, the greatest time of the year, and welcome to Apochromatic Unlimited with our 2025 Black History Month TTRPG fundraiser. This year, we're raising funds on Tiltify for Black Girls Rock. Black Girls Rock is an organization and movement dedicated to empowering and celebrating Black girls and women through programs focused on leadership, education, and cultural enrichment, fostering self-worth, pride, and empowerment. Each weekend of Black History Month, channels including Apochromatic Unlimited, Obsidian Brews, House of Dreams, and Nerdgasm Noir Network will be hosting actual plays and panels to raise funds and show our passion, unity, and creativity. Also, a big thanks and a shout out to this year's sponsor of Transplanar RPG. It's an award-winning, all-transgender, people of color-led dark fantasy channel telling stories in an original, non-colonial, anti-Orientalist multiverse. They are proud to support the Apochromatic Unlimited Black History Month fundraiser, and we encourage everyone watching to give what they can. And as always, we stand in solidarity with all oppressed peoples of the U.S. and the world fighting for freedom against colonization, imperialism, and white supremacy. Free Sudan, free DRC, and free Palestine. You can donate to Black Girls Rock by clicking the link in chat to Tiltify, where your donations will be tracked live, and also check out the links to each of our cast members. Speaking of our cast members, I know I just rapid-fired through all of that. I'm super excited and also a little bit nervous, but let's go through the awesome cast that we have with you. Just say your name, and give us maybe just your character's name. No information about them yet. We'll go through that as we go through the game itself. Let's start with Q.
There we go. Hi. Hey, I'm Q. He, him. Tonight, or today, because it's fully middle of the day, I will be playing King. They, them.
Sparrow.
Hi, I am your favorite burb on the interweb, a Black Sparrow. I am playing Cadence, he, him, and my pronouns are he, him.
Janie.
Hi, I'm Janie. I am playing Adele Royal, pronouns she, they. And pronouns.
Oh, go ahead.
It's okay. Just saying pronouns she, they.
And Lex. You are muted.
It's gonna happen at least once per
It has
game.
to.
I'm sorry.
It has to.
I'm Lex. Hi. Apparently I don't know how to stream anymore. Pronouns she, they. I'll be playing Auspice, if that's even her real name, who has any pronouns.
And now we are going to dive directly into something. I want you to picture, as a kid, watching your TV screen as the lights turn to a deep red. The camera moves up upon a skyline of a city, except it's not the Gotham you all remember. This isn't a Gotham surrounded by the harbors of a New York or New Jersey environment. I want you to picture instead a city surrounded by jungle and foliage. The camera sweeping through savannas throughout the entirety of the continent of Africa until it comes across one beautiful, glorious city. At its center, towering structures of the rich and upper class of Gotham. Surrounding it, the various middle class networks and structures. And of course, at its fringes, the barrows, places where crime tends to dwell in much more overt means. This is a Gotham that has experienced upheavals as of late. The death of the founding Wayne family members is still shaking to the core what makes Gotham Gotham. And that's where we will find today's heroes, villains, vigilantes. I'd like everyone here to roll me a d20.
Okay. 15.
19.
Oh, God. That's a 9.
I can beat you on that. I got a 7.
Nice.
Sparrow, or should I say Elijah? The plane ride from Metropolis in South Africa to Gotham was uneventful, but it's the touchdown and the stark contrast from a thriving metropolitan city that has seen its own rise to prominence with the election of its new official political leader of Laura Luther to this almost still stuck in its time city. It's a little shocking. It's not even the oppressive heat that is still here as it's coming into afternoon, but it's almost this sense of where the crime is seeped into the very marrow of this place. All of this, of course, taken away as you stepping out of the plane and onto the airport itself. You can already spy the well-dressed, if a little nervous-looking woman with almost platinum blonde hair, kind of pacing back and forth as you recognize Francine Langstrom, a benefactor of yours, sort of seemingly waiting for you as she is speaking on the phone to someone.
Elijah's polite. He'll kind of approach, but keep a healthy distance as this person is on the phone, and not trying to eavesdrop.
As she kind of seems to notice your presence, and she looks down to her phone and just, just be a moment, please. Just give me a second. And as she hangs up, you see her straighten out her clothing a little, takes a slight breath. Thank you for coming on such short notice.
Oh, not a problem. Ride was a little bumpy, but nothing I can't handle.
Would you like to describe your character for us?
Yeah, Elijah stands about 5'9", maybe like 5'10" on like a good Sunday. Just barely. Very short cropped hair. Just like striking, almost like yellow hazel eyes. Very clean shaven. Lithe individual, not like bulky, but you could you could probably see, like, if he was wearing like fitting clothing, you could be like, okay, this man's a little bit yoked, but like he looks very, like, not thin, but like almost like acrobatic kind of strength. He is currently wearing a plain white shirt, black vest, matching slacks, some real nice shoes. And if you looked really closely, it's almost as if like there's like some sort of like corded item underneath the vest that is just kind of hanging out. And he has this if you've ever seen like those real cheap like bone conduction earphones that kind of like go over the back of the ear, he has two of those on, and they're like stark white.
She straightens herself out again, gives a sort of look behind her. I've been busy trying to get funding over to the Institute, and though we're going to be alive still for the next couple months, it's going to be touch and go.
I totally understand. From what I've heard, this place not exactly so willing to help.
It's one thing to be a noted leader in these kind of things, but it's another to try to bring that to everyone else, I guess. Oh, sorry. Are my benefactor wants to speak to you personally, if you'll follow me, as she gestures for you to come with her.
Of course.
And as she leads you through the airport, you begin to get a sense, too, of the differences in the people of Gotham already. You see those that are here more or less as a vacation are kind of already being led to the much more well-built and established parts of this airport, many of them wearing suits, ties, businessmen, and the like, whereas those that seem to be from Gotham are already heading out to the streets. And as Francine leads you along, she takes you to the inauspiciously named Wayne area of the building itself, almost like a private suite. And as she opens the door to this room, you see seated, watching a news screen, a young woman, maybe in her early 20s, very black hair that's tied in a ponytail that's seemingly has still been dreadlocked, black suit with some small golden inlays along the sides. And as she hears the door open, you see her neck crane for a moment, and then she just fully turns and stands to greet Francine, who quickly shakes her hand. You would recognize this woman, as it's hard to not see them on the news. This is Binti Wayne, the surviving daughter of the Wayne family. Francine, it is a pleasure to see you. And you must be Elijah, yes?
Yeah, yes. And he immediately like extends a hand and like does like a kind of like a half bow as he does so.
She takes hold of your hand, and there's a firmer handshake than you're honestly expecting. She gives a rough handshake. Francine has told me quite a bit about you.
Oh, everything good, I hope.
Of course. I save all of the bad stuff for somebody else to tell me beforehand.
I see. So you are Francine's benefactor, or am I mistaken?
One of the few. One of the ones that believes in her work and the good that it can do to the city and beyond.
I must thank you. Francine has done amazing work, and almost like unconsciously, he kind of touches like one of those like things over his ear, his left ear. After knowing what I have gone through, my quality of life has been boosted significantly by the likes of Francine and her work.
I believe in the Gotham that my mother and father believed in. A place where medical advances and the like take precedence over financial gain. Francine is of a like mind. And as she looks back to you, giving a little like a half smile. Plus, I believe that some of her work can be utilized in more interesting cases. As if a little knowing smile is now passed between her.
Elijah's definitely caught off guard by that. Probably sweating internally, but trying to keep a cool face about it.
So Francine hears her phone vibrate and raises her hand. I have to take this if you'll give me a moment. And she skirts out of the room.
Internal dialogue is like shit. Okay, well, I'm in the room with this very powerful person that I do not know, and my like person that I'm familiar with has just found their way out of the room. So Elijah kind of straightens up a little bit and kind of, hands crossed, around at the waist, kind of, shoulders back, very high posture.
As Binti kind of leans against the couch, and you see this relaxed atmosphere that she's put on fades into a much more serious tone as she just looks at you for a moment and just... So, what do you know of a vigilante by the name of Cadence? And we're going to cut away from there.
Oh no.
And we're going to cut away from there. Think of a comic panel turning.
Mm-hmm.
What at this time would Auspice be doing in the evening?
Oh, you know, she's getting ready for a very long night of work, which tonight probably includes dolling herself up a little bit, just finished a shower, getting the outfit prep, checking, is it this earring? Is it that earring? Did these match? What is the look? Does it match the look I'm going for? As you watch this very otherwise unassuming and plain femme presenting person go all out deep into femme presentation and like as much as possible trying to have this front of I'm rich, famous, powerful, I am someone. Like literally goes from you're looking at this person that maybe if it's a comic panel frame, you're, up on their face, they're at the sink, they're doing their groovy little thing, checking their stuff. And as you like go out from this panel and it goes and shows you the space, there is a huge disconnect because the presentation of this person is now, dolled up, fancy, wonderful. And the space is run down, very, very clearly spent many years abandoned, or if not abandoned, just uncared for. It's a space, it's a roof. The roof doesn't have holes in it, which is nice. The water is running and it does have hot water, also nice.
Mm-hmm.
But this is not a space that looks like those are facts that are constant.
As you're getting yourself ready, you catch coming off of the window a slight movement of a shadow, and then just a little subtle tap on the window.
You know it's open, darling.
So the window slides up. I'm just trying to be polite. Was there a problem with me trying to be polite, Songbird? As you see someone wearing a long black trench coat and a equally form-fitting, almost like a turtleneck, with you see a golden, almost claw-like necklace surrounding the top. Short-cut hair, wearing sunglasses at night because he is that kind of person. Slides into the room, and you see as he slides in, as he shifts his hand, you see another glint as what appears to be a diamond in his hand is just kind of being shown. What are you getting all dolled up for?
Oh, the party.
Which one? Is the one that I know?
You might. There's going to be a lot of people there. High society. Might even see Binti there. Unlikely, but she might show.
You know that Wayne Harris doesn't show up for anything that's not at the manor.
It is not at the manor, so she's probably not going to be there.
So where are you going? Anything special I got to know about?
Only if you promise not to get jealous.
Do I look like the jealous type?
No, you look very nice tonight, though.
Don't I always look nice? And he sets the diamond onto a small dresser.
Depends on how I think about you that day.
Oh, so I always look nice. And as he says this and steps behind you, he drapes a necklace across your neck, just like almost as if testing. I think this would go well with what you're wearing.
Tries that, looks at that, maybe goes and roots around, and this does not look like a nice like jewelry case. It is clearly just a hoard stash of stuff. Roots around in there and pulls out a set of earrings that'll better match it, and it's like, you always have the best taste.
I should. That costs a bit. At least I think it does. If you'll hold on to that for me for at least a couple days before I'm able to sell it.
As long as you don't mind me modeling it.
Of course not. Why do you think I stole it?
You're so sweet.
I try. So this little event, as he kind of lounges against the wall, he finds a spot that doesn't have a lot of dust on it, and if there is some, he wipes it off with his hand and then presses against it.
I think, oddly enough, as bad as this place looks, it's not dusty. It's not dirty. It's just ugly.
This little event of yours, it wouldn't happen to have anything to do with a certain criminal psychologist coming around?
I don't know anything about a psychologist, but I do know that a particular lawyer will be there.
Oh, Dent?
And he's so very fun to mess with.
You're going to a shindig with Dent?
No, I'm going to a shindig with, and I hope you don't mind me just throwing out a name.
Go right ahead.
The Drakes.
Oh.
Now, it's not anything serious between us. We're just going as friends.
Oh, of course.
But Dent's going to be there. I'm going to see what I can't rattle out of him, and maybe it'll be fun.
Well, I sure hope so, if you're going to that little event. Who knows, I might come and crash the party a little bit, especially if there's such high society people there.
Oh, you should. You should.
Well, if you're going to come in looking like that, I have to. I'll put on my best. And he gives you, the sunglasses go down, and he gives you a wink.
And I think he just kind of gently, runs a hand, across his face.
As he slips out of the window once more, as soon as he is out of sight, you see a massive bird, which you can probably assume is a harpy eagle of some variety, lands directly on the sill. His head tilts, and as it pecks at its leg, you can see something tied to the leg with a red ribbon.
And all of that, sensuality and flirtation that was given to this individual that came through this one's window is gone, just replaced with straight business. And goes, reaches for that red ribbon, nice little tug, pulls it away. What's the message say?
Written on this note is an address and a single phrase, which just reads, "Something of importance that we need." And the address you recognize, as it is the address to a place that has very recently gone dark.
That gets a very, visible furrowing of the brow and biting of the inner cheek. Just a little nod to the bird.
It straightens itself and begins to fly away.
And I think Auspice, having gotten all dolled up, then puts over top of that, something to be less conspicuous once leaving this area. And once leaving, you can see why this is the Barrows.
Mm-hmm.
You don't walk around in the Barrows with anything shiny visible.
And as we, again, comic panel turn from that, Q, we're going to get to you last, because you're going to have something special for this. Over in a much fancier side of town, the thumping of club music and dance can be heard issuing forth from a massive nightclub. that seems to mirror the look of an iceberg that is jutting out of the ground itself. As the iceberg continues to jut out partially, at the very top on this sort of almost aviary dome-like structure of the iceberg lounge, inside, with many people of high society of a certain ilk of criminality, there is a short woman wearing a two-piece black and white suit, cap with a top hat, a umbrella at her side, sipping on a martini before she just kind of tilts her head up and looks over. Janie, would you like to describe your character for us?
Yes, my character Adele is I'm going to say taller than the woman beside her, and but is clearly trying to emulate her because she's got on a white dress with a black jacket, almost like the suit, and she's got a hat on, but it's not the same. She has, I'm going to say she has a pair of sunglasses on her head. No, she has a hat on, never mind. She's got them in her hands, and she is trying to look very elegant, but she knocks over a fork or something onto the floor as she's trying to, um, position herself so she looks interested but not too interested. She's trying way too hard.
As the fork like hits the ground, one of the I'm just gonna describe him as goons, big, muscle-headed, just kind of a brick of a human being in a very ill-fitting suit, like has to bend down and lumbers and picks up the fork and puts it back on the table, as Octavia Cobblepot finishes her own direction, looks over to you, and just right. So you know that I adore you being over, and of course having a fantastic time here. But I am asking you here on a bit of a business venture, if you don't mind.
Uh, I don't I don't I, I, I don't mind.
Good, because I know that you would absolutely. It'd be in your best interest to do this little favor for me. It's just a favor. Plus, you get to test out your little doodads.
Oh, what do I get to test out?
I need you to help me get some of my boys out of a little bit of trouble. And it might require things exploding.
Yes, yeah, I will do that for you.
Good. So you see, as much as I have enjoyed my time here in this beautiful city, some of the police force haven't quite got the message that I run this place. And they decided that my boys, who are just doing their job, needed to be incarcerated, and I need them out of there.
With bombs.
Bombs, explosions, whatever you can do that would get them out of there as fast as physically possible. I'm going to say this, and I need you to hear me as succinctly as possible, with as minimal damage to my boys as physically possible.
But the building I can damage that, yes?
I do not give a rat's ass about if that building explodes. As long as my boys are fine.
Yes, blow the building, yes.
Yes. Repeat the last part of what I just said.
Blow up the building.
She pauses, looks over to the goon, who just kind of gives a shrug. Without hurting my boys.
Oh, yes. Do not hurt your... How many boys?
I have... Like, who do we have in there? As the goon, like, reaches out and pulls out a notepad. Boss, you got, it's Ricky, Roy, Tommy, and Jacob. They're the ones in there. So 4.
Okay. So blow up the building, not the 4 boys.
Yes, exactly. You do this, and I'll owe you. Do you want money or a favor?
Uh, fa- favor.
Favor. I can do that. She snaps her fingers as a bottle of wine in a chilled ice bucket is brought over. She takes it, pours herself a glass first, tops off her glass, and then pours you half a glass. To a favor.
Uh, um, Adele looks at the half glass. Like, why don't I get a full glass?
She looks over to you, notices that it's at half, looks over at the goon, who quickly goes, right, and finishes pouring the glass.
To a favor.
And as she clinks, the comic panel shifts once again. We are no longer in the city. In this, almost like a campground, there's a myriad of what look to be soldiers of some variety, many still organizing weapons, some set out on tables, others still arranging them. There's one man who is leading Q. Would you like to describe your character for us?
Of course. King is dressed in all black. He's got the mask on. He's got glasses and the beanie to cover his head. The weird part is his skin looks to be about as black as his clothing. And there's a sort of sheen to it. Like, you don't want to say sticky, when you're talking about skin, but it gives that, certainly. He's about 5'8", not particularly tall. The dimensions of their form is questionable because they are in a lot of pretty baggy clothing. And there's accompanied, and you're fairly certain this is on purpose, accompanied with their walk is this sound of something small sort of moving around in metal. And I think after a moment, out of their hoodie pocket, there's a spray can. And the shaking becomes a little more vigorous, and you can hear it, activating as they're holding it up.
As the man is leading you, he is fully decked out in military gear. You see him carrying what appears to be a stolen AK. He's strapped with several bandoliers of just bullets. But what marks him distinctly is that you see a luchador mask tattooed on his shoulder blade. As he leads, you see him kind of tilt back. The boss wanted to thank you personally for all of your help. Getting the your message out has helped us greatly. You, of course, I assume you know the rules. No talking about what the boss looks like. No answering who they are, anything like that.
I know about the anonymity. We're all right.
He nods and takes you to a massive tent, which as he pulls the door open, there's this strange, almost like a sandalwood odor that seems to come out of the tent with this mixture of smoke, and just gestures for you to go in.
They will slink in fluid grace as they walk past the soldier into the large tent.
Seated on almost like a carved stone throne, their head just leaning against their hand, you see a massive man, probably twice your height, just a ripcord-like muscles that are all seemingly tensing with something flowing through the veins that you can see, wearing a mask that has a... I'm trying not to say that it is an El Messia style mask, but a Lucian style Catholicism based mask. And as their head tilts up to look at you, there's a little smile that you can see. So, I assume you're king.
Just scratches the beanie.
As he stands again, it's almost too big. There's this level of height that is just, it's weird. It's strange. That's not, a person shouldn't be that big. And as they walk towards you, you see them extend their hand, and in it you can see a wad of bills. I believe this is yours.
Thank you for your business.
Thank you for your discretion. Your art is... See, seems to look for the words. Interesting.
Ah, glad you enjoy it.
If you ever want more solid business, you know where to find me.
No, I think we'll keep it just as it is for now. If you have more work for me that you want me to do, you can find me later.
Understood. Enjoy yourself. As he places that massive hand onto your shoulder, just gives it a squeeze of like recognition, as the warlord known as Bane kind of gives you permission to go, essentially.
Just looks at the hand, just like massive paw with that, even with the glasses on, just like, why the fuck are you touching me? But they will step back, give a nod. It's not a nod of respect, just acknowledgement. And they're going to give a little salute, and they're going to leave. I would like to tag this place on my way out, though.
Absolutely. Let's get our first dice roll of the game in, shall we?
Hell yeah.
Let's see. What characteristic do I want you to use? Could you give me... This is technically going to be a reflexes and discretion check. Could you give me a... I want you to give me a dexterity check, a dexterity test.
Yeah.
And if you have any ways that can help, that will be added onto this.
Oh, yeah, I got ways of the art, my boy.
That'll work.
Okay. All right, so that's a 10 on the die. We get one for every level, so that's 13 plus 5 is 18. Plus
As the thing,
5.
any donations that we get provide advantage. If you would like to use advantage, you can.
Ooh, nice. I got 23.
23?
Yeah.
You do manage, as you are walking away, with that high, I will say you do manage to tag Bane's tent specifically.
Hell yeah. That's what I was going for. Yeah, and then just gonna go about my business.
As you head out of the camp, the forest isn't this long as you're walking through. You knew how far it was from here to Gotham. It's almost as if the forest extends now. You begin to hear the sound of fire crackling around you. And then this strange purple smoke seems to emanate from the undergrowth, followed by footsteps slowly following behind you.
Well, we're gonna pick up the pace.
As you begin to walk faster, the footsteps seem to echo the amount that you're walking.
Cool. Okay. Do we do the horror thing and look back, or do we do the black thing and not? I think we're gonna have to do the black thing.
Mm-hmm. As you
Whatever's
keep
behind me, that's
Yeah,
not
as
here.
you keep going, the footsteps seem to stop as you no longer hear them.
Mhm.
Only for you see, almost hanging from a branch in front of you, a face seems to shoot into focus as a smiling figure just kind of appears from out of nowhere. Anna, what are you rushing for?
I think there's like a stumble back. The spray can is dropped. The fight or flight is currently in the freeze.
Hold on now. I'm not here to hurt you. I was just curious of why you were walking through my jungle like that. As he flips himself off of the tree branch and lands, and you see a figure wearing a tattered overcoat that seems to be stained this myriad of colors, mostly purples and greens. Dreadlocks that have this mossy color to them. A wide smile of almost sharp yellow teeth, patchwork vitiligo style white and dark skin, and these wide eyes, the pupils almost bigger than the actual sclera of the eyes itself, giving them this very dark quality. As he gives this little bow, I was just curious.
Right. Well, home is that way, so I have to go from there to that way. So if you don't,
Oh,
you don't mind.
you live in Gotham.
Yeah.
What part of Gotham do you live in, friend? You don't look like the high society type.
No, never really fit in the high society.
You know, friend, if you are an artist, I would imagine. He gestures to you guys, though not maybe one of pure choice of what you have. I sort of recognize the mark of a bit of chemical about you. It's the same smell as my own, you see, as he taps his nose and then his teeth.
Mm-hmm.
You looking to make a mark?
Always.
What if I said to you I have the perfect territory for you to muck around with?
I'm listening.
Good. Have a seat. And he gestures to the ground.
I'm curious. Sure, I'll sit down.
As he walks, there's this almost dance quality as he moves. They built a place not too far from here. A place where they're supposed to quiet their screams, right? A place where they're supposed to rehabilitate people. It was working, I assume. And then all of a sudden, there were no screams to be quieted. Whole place went dark, you see. Now, the place is still enough in the minds of the people that if one were to create a masterpiece, I'm sure that everyone would be paying attention.
You mean the institute?
I do. What did they call it? The Ayatunde Institute for the Criminally Insane. Yes. he spins on his heels and he sits and kind of just, it's almost like a squat. And his whole body, as he moves, it's like there's too many joints.
Mm.
What do you think? Would that be a fine place for an aspiring Da Vinci of the streets?
What you get out of this?
What do I get out of this? I'd get nothing out of this.
No, this isn't just charity. You get something.
I get to enjoy seeing people's reactions to things. I like to see the world change. It's stagnant, and I despise stagnation. Plus, in my opinion, it'd be good for a laugh. And he smiles again, this too wide smile. But do you really care what I get out of this? Hmm?
No, not really.
Good. I would be warned, of course. You may have a couple other people maybe coming in for their own benefit, but rest assured you may need their help.
If I do it right, they never see me.
He seems to look around the forest a little. I think you and I will get along just fine if we see each other again. Enjoy your tagging, King. And he stands up.
You know, I never gave you my name.
I could have guessed.
Oh, good. You're smarter than Bane.
Comparing me to that muscle-bound meathead of a man, he does not belong in Gotham. Not many of the people here do.
Spoken like an elitist.
Not an elitist. Just someone who knows the beat of this place far better than most people. As he turns to look back. But again, do you really care what I think?
Beginning to.
Watch out for yourself then, artist. Make sure your paint doesn't run dry. And he begins to walk into the undergrowth.
Cool beans. Yuck, 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 yuck. I simply must be going.
As the panel turns to the fading laughter of this man, we get the official comic panel of Gotham by Grassland as we see a full title card rendition of a sprawling institute that almost seems like a castle of some variety that's been remade into this place of learning. And it is here that our story is going to take place. A little background for those in attendance. Think of it as reading the comic panel. A few weeks ago, the Ayatunde Institute of the Criminally Insane, a place where many of the criminals of Gotham were to be sent for rehabilitation, went dark. All communication with the guards, prisoners, wardens, gone. Now, because the Ayatunde Institute is still relatively new, this has hit the news, but hasn't had a lot of investigation. That is to say, the people that are going in haven't exactly been forthcoming on what's happening. Which is why, as Binti Wayne has decided to give as information to a new colleague of hers, it's of great importance that we find out what is happening in the Institute and see if we can put it back on track. Of course, for Adeli, the situation is very simple. Get the people that Octavia Cobblepot wants out of the facility, though that's probably been written down in a note, as opposed to the blow things up portion, which is fresh in your mind.
Possibly.
Possibly.
She might have gotten that mixed up.
And for Auspice, the ruling is a little bit more complex. There's someone there that your organization wants. A specific criminal psychologist is still in the facility, as far as they know, as there's been no communication of them being out of the facility. They want them out. And of course, for King, this is a perfect canvas to tag. A massive, sprawling canvas for you to take a look at. Which is where we pick up as a very almost military-esque looking vehicle in jet black with these motifs on the side revs forward and comes to a stop not too far from the building as the top of it pops open as the sole vigilante of this city until now turns her head to look over to Cadence. And in a voice that has been modulated to not mirror her own, this is the place.
In an equally modulated voice, all right. I know what to do.
Good. If there are any, if others are going to be willing to help, please do that. This place is dangerous, and I'm going to be trying to keep any other undesirables out of there as I can.
All right.
Francine wanted me to give you these, and she sets onto your hand a pair of devices, several of which half you recognize as what would be akin to sonic grenades.
Mm-hmm.
The other half have a very strange design to them that almost seem like small caltrops with a button at the center. In sound inverters, they mirror negative decibels. Should be good for if there's anybody that you're trying to sneak past.
For the first time, since you can't see the you can't see like the eyes exactly of Cadence at this point. They are fully in gear, but for the first time, there's like a appreciative look, kind of, if you will, like you can kind of infer it from like a comic standpoint, coming from Cadence, and there's a little bit of a smirk to go along with it.
Feel free to use them at your discretion.
I think I will do exactly that, yes.
Like I said, be careful. And as they gesture for you to get out of the car, you see them already looking at the screen, a map of Gotham in real time, with you see several like police indicators of crimes happening.
Mm.
It never ends.
Nope, it sure does not. Good luck.
You as well. And as she drives off, you are left to your own devices. Here's a question out of the group here. Who is going to the front entrance?
Deli is. I think you all knew that.
Mm-hmm. Adeli, at the front, this massive wrought iron gate. You see several signs that have been placed out front. A lot of them are misspelled, but you see signs that say, "Help us," "No hope here," "Get us out of here," like all plastered at the front of this gate.
Well, she's going to just like look at the signs, and I think she's going to correct the spelling on one of them, and then
The sparkle brain is real. Oh my gosh.
Amazing.
then I think she will try to open the gate to go in.
Is the you kind of like tug on the gate. There's a moment where you're expecting resistance, and then the gate just very loud iron creak up as it begins to pull open.
Okay, well then we'll just go to the door and get these people out of here before we blow the building up.
So you walk the path up to the door.
Yes.
You see a camera that's been placed, and it's supposed to just be scanning, but it seems to be perfectly still up until you head to the door, and then the camera swiftly swivels over to look to you.
But hello, I am here for, and she looks at her notes, and it says blow people up. No, you know what? It says that. And she said, I'm looking for, she's going to make up names off the top of her head.
Mhm.
So she's going to say, for A, Aaron.
There's a noted pause, then you hear like a crackle of a speaker, and just you're not with police, right?
No, I just need to get A, Aaron, Todd, and Roger.
Oh my God. Okay. One moment, the door's locked. Give me a second. You hear a buzz noise. Are you alone?
Yes.
Ah, perfect. Come in. And as you hear that buzz again, the door kind of pushes open a little.
Okay. Hello, Todd. What is that name?
You hear another buzz sound. Just get in the building before other people find you.
Okay.
You realize that you are in a very, very dangerous facility?
It looks old.
It is old.
Well, where's the dangerous?
Inside the... Oh, get in.
Okay. She's like going to sigh dramatically and go in.
As the door closes and the comic panel shifts. So, where... Sorry, I'm kind of buzzing at that. Where's Osmus?
I remembered to unmute this time.
Hey, let's go.
Auspice, I think there was a brief moment when Auspice first got there where, it's kind of near to where she could see the front of the building, but Auspice isn't foolish enough to try and come in through the front gate. Mainly because Auspice is not in regular people clothes. Auspice is presently done up something like this, where
Hell yeah.
you don't walk up to front gates. You don't. You don't look at someone wearing claws and a mask and go, yes, I'll let them in through the gate. So she tried to find another way in.
There are 3 major areas of the facility. At the front is essentially visitor center into main incarceration area.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be the front gate. To the east is the penitentiary wing, designed for not so much maximum security. And to the west is maximum security and the medical wing.
Maximum security and medical wing sounds like a great place to start.
Overlooking the max security and medical wing, it is the most old-looking part of this facility, as if the front was made into its front. This is where the original stuff was made, and It has that look to it, but what makes it a little startling is that you can see people roaming around the grounds outside.
Yet they're not supposed to be out there.
Many of them wearing orange jumpsuits. You see a couple police officers as well, but they all are roaming, kind of shuffling about. You see a couple that are knelt down, twitching violently.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a good long moment to try and suss out what I'm looking at here, because that is not natural.
Give me a perception test.
Okay.
And of course, utilize any of your ways that you would see fit.
I can't read with this mask on. Let's see. Would this count as reacting to it? Nah, I'm not in imminent peril. I'm just looking. This is fine. So that will be that plus that. Cool. Where are you? Total of 15.
Total of 15.
Mhm.
From the distance that you are at, you can pick up a few, just a sparse amount of words that are coming from some of them. For some of them shuffling, it's just, we're safe out here. Can't do anything to us out here. A couple that are in this crouch position, you can hear them go, they're still crawling on me. Still on me. Get them off. They seem to be affected by something. You're not quite sure what.
And I don't see any evidence of like a bizarre mist or anything on the ground here, right?
On the grounds out here, no.
Okay. I will try to enter and be as unnoticed as possible.
Give me a dexterity check.
Okay. Stealth time. Stealth time. That is 11 plus 6. That is a total of 21.
As you begin to sneak your way through, you notice that if anyone like looks up to notice you, they are far too unfocused to seem to see you. There's this, for a couple that do see you, there is this look of shock, and they immediately avert their eyes and begin to curl back up as if they're more terrified looking at you as opposed to anything else. Many are still just in this daze where they can't seem to focus on you at all.
And none of these are the people I'm looking for.
No.
So I don't care. I'm just going to continue on towards the medical area because, psych person seems to be a good place they might be.
At the door to the medical wing, you see what appears to be a tally mark, a phi written, like scratched out by a knife on the front, but the door's handle is broken off.
Any entrances or exits up?
There is a massive window at the top that it seems like you would be able to get through if you climbed.
Then I'm climbing.
Give me just another dexterity check for funsies.
Excellent. It's cool because I'm an acrobat. I could do this. That is that. Total of 18.
Climbing isn't a difficulty. As you begin to make your way up, almost scrabbling very effectively, and as you get to the window, you're able to peer inside. And peering through, you see this entrance to this medical wing. There are flickering lights that just barely can illuminate the entirety of the facility. There are the bodies of officers, of doctors kind of strewn about the place. But you can also hear noises of people moving around.
I'm going to tap on the glass and see if that gets any attention.
Doesn't seem to be anything that pops up from the tapping on the glass.
Hmm. Hmm. I'm going to take a pause here
Mhm.
and think about this. The person I'm looking for is a psychologist.
A criminal psychologist.
So it would make sense that they're in either the maximum security or the medical wing, right?
Yes. Yes.
Would I have had the information of what building their office usually is in?
You would know that their office is. They are an eccentric. Their office would be in the medical wing specifically.
Okay.
They tend to focus more on the lower level.
Okay.
Because how the facility is set up is that there's the medical wing itself that has a side entrance that has like the essentially surgery and things like that, and then there's an
Mhm.
elevator that takes you to the below levels where there's the morgue, among other places. Their office is
Okay.
there. It's also where they do like intensive testing.
Then I guess I'm going in and down.
And as you kind of push open the window and you're able to get a more auditory sense of what this is happening to this place, you can hear someone talking to themselves a little louder. Just, I told them I needed more. This is fine. The marks aren't enough. There's still too many empty spaces. I just need a bit more. She promised me more. And we're going to move from you. King, where are you heading in terms of the facility?
I mean, like inside, I don't know, bro. It's a little sus. Probably actually kind of want to be up top.
Mm.
Actually, no. I really want to get a feel for the building
Mm-hmm.
and like which side I would want to tag.
There is a massive, I would say probably just where the facility is located, there is a small cliffside that has a massive tree that you'd be able to climb just to get a look at the entire facility.
Okay. That's what we're doing.
Okay. From central entrance, you can see the main gate go through. You also see somebody casually open up the gate and then go through the front entrance as if it was no problem at all, which is a little... From that entrance, you can see some of the major landmarks of the facility, including a massive clock tower that juts out from the front. East side, which is the like minimum security prison area, you see that there's also an area for a massive greenhouse, essentially like a large garden to go through, as well as the cemetery that's been set aside for the founders of the place itself. And west side, maximum security and medical wing.
Okay. So I think because his like big pieces are ones that takes the whole and breaks it up into parts. I think he's gonna start. I think they're gonna start. I think we're gonna start at the tower and work our way down.
Okay. For funsies, can you give me a perception check?
I would love to. I would love to do that.
And Sparrow, could you give me a dexterity check?
You got it, dude.
Okay, perception. I can do that. Yeah. That is a dirty 20. Filthy 20, if you will.
Filthy 20.
If I'm trying to
Sneak. You're good.
Sorry, something happened with my audio real quick. If I'm trying to remain unnoticed, it is a 28.
So I will say you do not see. What entrance are you going through, just for fun, Sparrow? What entrance is Cadence taking?
I think Cadence is probably. I'm sure at some point, like there was like a loose bar over a window, like maybe like a story up that he basically just like slipped into.
From what entrance are we talking? Medical entrance, minimum security, or just the front?
I'm gonna say medical.
So you do not notice as Cadence slips into the medical wing. If you're heading over to the massive clock tower, you are going to be tagging that. So I'm going to do a roll.
Okay. Do I need to roll a sneak? Because I can do it.
Go ahead and roll me a sneak.
Heck yeah. Okay. Can you confirm what width and edge is? Does that mean I'm rolling advantage?
Yes.
Okay, cool beans. That's what I thought. Okay, let's see. All right, so yeah, that's 16, 21. Plus 21 plus 2, 4. 29.
What are you specifically creating on this clock tower?
You know what? I think it's going to be a dark angel. Or actually, you know what? Even better. It's going to be a lady of justice. The tower will be the sword. She'll be blindfolded, obviously. The wings will stretch out to the rest of the facility. But I do think the bandages will be tattered, and she's gonna have she's gonna have the same smile that old dude in the jungle did.
As you finish this art piece and you take a moment to almost like check out the work, the wood that you're standing on begins to creak. You hear and feel something far under that's too big to be moving shoot underneath, and the wood gives way.
Oh dear.
Give me a dexterity check as you're falling.
Absolutely. Oh, that's not nearly as good. Okay. All right, so that one's only a 12.
As you fall, you reach out to grab a hold of the side, and you snag a bit of rotting wood, and it pulls off as you go. And as you tumble down and hit the ground, you're not hurt. You're a little stunned out of the impact, and you hear whatever was moving kind of stops. And in this dust-filled shadow, you hear just from that darkness, is that doesn't smell like meat rotting, paint and oil? What is that?
We're gonna tuck roll and try and just be up against the wall. Like if we can meld to the wall, that'd be great. just bloop.
As you give me a dex for stealth check.
Mm-hmm.
I have to roll for him, which means I have to find his stat sheet. Or its stat sheet is more accurate.
Heck yeah. Having an edge is so nice. Says the nat 20.
I doubt he's gonna. I doubt that this thing is going to connect to that, so I'm gonna find out. Where are you? Yeah, no, he's not detecting that. As you kind of like duck and roll and press yourself against the side of a wall, as the dust begins to settle, you see a massive green-scaled clawed hand slam to the ground as this crocodilian-like thing begins to just slither its way forward. You see pressed to its head what looks like an Egyptian scarab has been like pushed into its skull as it slinks forward. Just, I know you're there. I smell you. I can hear you. Where are you? You're not one of the doctor's pets, right? I'm sick of that.
Won't be answering. The scarab though.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like, hey, that shouldn't be there.
It looks like it's been pressed in, but the skin and scales is growing over it. It's like pushing it deeper in. But yes.
Cool. So can't shoot that off. All right. Well, it's time to go. Because like, I know this is a Marvel reference, but this is like Hulk versus Black Widow shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not winning that fight. So,
Before
we're just gonna...
As you go, I want you to make me 2 rolls.
Okay.
One is more for my enjoyment. Second is going to be for you to get out of there safely.
Okay.
So give me a perception roll and a dex roll.
Okay. All right. Perception. Okay. Cool. All right. That's another dirty 20 and the dexterity. This is just to go unnoticed, right?
Yes.
Hell yeah. Cool. That is 9. That's 20, 22.
22? Okay.
Yes,
give me one moment to see, because the dex roll might be one I'd do a thing with.
No, that's actually not necessary.
I know it's not, but you see, it's fun for me.
Oh, okay.
And that's what matters in the end, really.
You're right.
Yep. All right, rolling.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
Yeah.
I have forgotten a thing.
Yeah.
I took a thing. The very first bit. I am discreet, so I get a +5. So that's 27.
27? Okay. That
Phew.
may be more than enough. Let me see.
Phew.
We have no ability to counter roll that, so we'll find out.
Croc, don't eat me.
There's no way but rolling anyway.
Of course, because nat 20s, I feel like you could honor those.
Nah, he does not detect you with a 14. So with the perception, you see a couple things with that perception. Number one, there is a collar that's been wrapped around the neck of this giant crocodile-like person. You see bits of electricity flaring through it, but what is more catching is you see several syringes have been pushed into the arm. They seem to have, whatever was in there has already been pushed in, but there's been something done to this one. And as it kind of slinks forward, you do manage to slip your way out of your hidey hole as it's still searching around. And you see its tail lash and hit the wall. So just, where are you? I'm not going back down there. You can't make me.
No. We're not saying shit. I don't even want to. I want to be quippy. Nah.
As we're gonna cut over to Sparrow, who you've managed to like we're gonna just say Arkham Asylum pry the vent off of the wall to get into the facility.
Love it.
You got into the medical wing, so I'm gonna roll a D100 to see exactly where you are landing. Because I am horrible like that. Okay. And as you kind of push your way through and then land onto the ground, there's this immediate doom, doom, doom. Welcome to the medical wing. Here we are here to treat our patients with the utmost care and diligence. Here you will find that we will not be using any so-called pseudoscience in order to treat our well-deserved patients to have them rehabilitated and ready to re-enter society. Our esteemed doctors here are willing to as the sound begins to static out and re-up as it repeats itself a few times. You find yourself in a hallway that has several parts leading through. The signs leading, so X-ray, surgery ward, medical hall, and elevator. There are stains of indeterminate origin littering the what would normally be a beautiful looking hallway. There is also, which is probably most startling for you, a lack of sound.
Internally, just great. Picked the absolute best place to land. And Cadence is going to reach into not into, he's going to reach around the like protective vest that they are wearing as a part of their vigilante getup, and grab a hold of something that's just out of view. Like their left hand is like just out of view in the comic book panel, and they are moving down the hall with that in that kind of pose where their like hand is like at their waist on the opposite side, not on their left hand is reaching over to the right, and they're moving carefully.
As you are moving through the hall, you begin to pick up on a slight noise that seems to echo a lot more in this place because of the sheer lack of any other sound other than that near constant repeating phrase from the TVs above you. It's this sort of like chittering, just and then a metal scraping.
Okay. Cadence's movement slows but does not stop, and he's trying to like determine where the sound is coming from to get an advantageous position. So like if they're coming around the corner, he's probably going to stay put, but if they're like going to stand in the hallway, he might go to the other side of the hall and to up against the wall there.
Give me a perception roll.
You got it, dude. That is a 14 plus 2, 16.
I'll give you, so you can tell that it's around the corner from where you are heading. It seems to be coming from surgery wing. You'll see also you can pick up kind of what the sound is. It's just kind of somebody mumbling. It's fading. It's fading. It's not affecting it as much anymore. Why do I still feel it? It's fading. It's not affecting. Why do I still feel it? As it's slowly heading around that corner.
Okay. Caden thinks to himself, our Abate gave me these weapons. Might as well try one out. And pulls out one of the sound inverters and just kind of like thinks back to what he was told. And he holds the button down for 2 seconds and then kind of just like lowers himself and with his right arm just rolls it down the hall and slowly starts counting to 5.
As you get to 1 and then finally it goes off, these do not do damage. So for the audience, what you all will hear is essentially just like and the whole world becomes this muffled, just nothing, as if everything has been blunted. You can see, you can hear, you cannot hear, but you tell that whoever is there has like stumbled a little, and you see them stumble out from that corner, like very confused. And you get a glimpse at this person. A torn straitjacket, the sleeves still long and like dangling down. Their head is enclosed in this strange cage-like structure that is keeping their mouths partially open. Just this.
Okay. Does it seem just like a, I don't know if I would recognize this person. So,
They seem to be a prisoner. And also, as soon as they catch eyes of you, their eyes go wide and they just like swing their body.
I'm going to step back because I'm not immediately going to go like on the offense.
Mhm.
I'm going to see if this person like is swinging out of surprise and shock, or if they're like swinging out of aggression. So I'm gonna like do like a quick like little like hop, like a leap hop backwards.
I'm going to check a thing on a very specific test. Boop. What is your defense?
16, I think.
16?
If I calculate everything correct.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll. Yeah, they're not breaking that. As you step back, do you see them immediately like miss the swing?
Mm-hmm.
You can tell they're saying something, but due to the device, you can't hear what they're saying. Although you can probably read lips, so give me a perception roll.
Sure. That's probably not going to do it. It's a 4.
You pick up like maybe a word, which is just angel.
Okay. Well, this person.
Yeah, they don't look like they're willing to talk as they like swing, see you, and whatever they're seeing may not be reality as they mouth that word and they're about ready to go for another swing.
Okay, cool. Well, I see obvious. Oh, actually, no, wouldn't work because Cadence's normal thought is this person has a bunch of metal around their head. That's going to be agony when I hit them because it's just going to ring in their ears. It's not necessarily going to like hit them in the head, but like that sound is going to be obnoxious as heck. But because we're in this silence bubble, they almost like correct themselves immediately, and their left arm finally pulls at whatever it is that they were concealing, and it's like this long black cord, and at the end of it is this like, I'd say like softball sized. It looks like metal, but it's textured like rock. So it's kind of like it's glinty. It's got like a model texture to it. And there's like a small point at the end of it. I'd say maybe like half a ballpoint pen kind of size, like, and it comes to a tip. And along the cord, it in like text as he whips it out, along like basically the comic book panel, it says "the sound of silence" along the cord as he whips it out to hit this person like right in the tummy.
Give me an attack roll.
You betcha.
His defense score is Garbo, by the way, as he has really nothing to defend himself. So his defense score is, can you beat a 10?
Yeah, I can actually with a clean 14. So
all right, give me the damage dice.
That's a 4 plus 4.
4. All right, as you swing and you hit his stomach, there's still like a muffled thud sound, just and his body goes rigid, and you see his eyes just roll back, and he just step.
Okay. So
he's a goon. He's got like no health.
No, that's fine. I think Cadence like pulls it back and like steps on the cord to like loop it around his foot to go for another swing.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, all right. And he like just like kind of like just like kicks his foot up and catches the ball and like pulls it around his waist again.
It's around that time too that the grenade like finally ceases its inverting of the sound, and you finally hear back up the do.
He like, rolls his eyes like, great. All right. Well, you sleep well, buddy. I got work to do, and he's gonna move past.
Give me a perception as you're moving past him, real quick.
The 19 plus 2, 21.
You see, as you're about to go past, just like looking down at him, where this cage is put, you can see much of his, like some of his upper area of his, like kind of the bust of him is exposed, and you see what look like where there's been injection sites.
Mental note for that for later.
And as we move from you, again, shifting the comic panels, we're going to go over to Adeli. As you are moving through the main area of the facility, and again, over the speakers, just, so you're not with the police, and you're looking for people in this facility?
Yes, my very closest friends who ended here accidentally.
I don't know of many people who come to this facility accidentally.
They
I'll
were framed.
I see. I'm sure that's the truth. I'll do my best to assist you. You'll have to forgive me. This facility is a bit of a mess. We lost our warden I think they've just been gone for a bit, so we've been a bit of a skeleton crew.
Yes, my friends, and does she have a phone or something?
Yes,
Could
I would
she
assume.
text her cousin to see what the names are?
You get a text back that's just, you forgot the name, fine, and then there's like a moment's pause, and then just Roy, Ricky, Tony. I forgot the names of my own goons. Roy, Ricky, Tony, and Franco.
Okay. Yes, I'm looking for my best friends, Roy, Ricky, Tony, Franco.
Pause. Those are names associated with the Cobblepots. You sure they were framed?
Yeah, my best friends. We grew up together.
All right. That's fine. Give me a moment. I'm just trying to see if I know where they are in the facility. Scheiße. Everything here is so disorganized. Feel free to have a seat in the visitors' lounge if you like, as you just hear it's a little frantic sounding over the intercom. The visitors' lounge, by the way, pretty much torn to shreds. Like there's a few chairs that are still seated. Many of them are like thrown about. The actual desk of the visitors' lounge is in the wall.
So that needs to be blown up, is what you're saying.
I'm not saying it, but I'm sure that the voice in your head is saying, like, this place could be remodeled.
But is there like one chair?
There's like a chair that just hasn't been moved.
She's going to sit down in that one chair and like start sketching out where she's going to place the bombs.
You hear the speaker go off, almost as if it's like accidental, and you hear muffled sounds, a muffled like curtain getting drawn, and then back to the speaker. I found where your friends might be. They appear to have been a bit rowdy in the general incarceration wing, so they've been taken over to the medical wing to calm them down. If you'd like, if you come to the medical wing, I would be happy to assist you there.
Yeah, yes, I will get them out of the medical wing. Thank you for finding my dear friends.
Of course. It's an absolute pleasure to help you out. And as long as you are not opposed to me still doing my practice down here. We have had a few injuries, unfortunately.
No, just go on. I just need to get my friends out, and we will leave.
Of course. One moment, and I'll unlock the doors to the facility. As they hit the button, and you hear another like buzzing sound as the door to the far end of the hall. You hear unlock.
You know what? She's gonna go. She's gonna head that. This is the character I
she's
picked.
she's so cooperative as she's over the intercom. Yes, very good. Rules are as follows, of course. Any of the patients that you may encounter, they are here for a reason. Do not, don't disturb them. And if they ask for anything, you are not to get them anything. You will be cutting through parts of the incarceration wing. Just pay no mind.
Can I put my earpods in?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, she's just gonna put the earpods in, turn the volume up, and walk.
Perfect. And as you begin to walk through, and we're gonna say the comic panel again opens, because I think of this beautiful image of your character calmly walking through, and the panel pans back, and there's a line of essentially cells full of people. And with that comic panel shown, I think that is going to be where we're going to take a quick break to get drinks and refreshments, sort of refresh the brain a little bit. And we will pop back in. And when we do, Lex, are going to pop back in on you for this. So be prepped. And we're back. So, when last we left off on our comic panel, Deli was walking through a giant 2-level hall of prison cells with AirPods in. For fun, what music is she listening to?
I'm gonna say she is probably got shoot, I don't know. something weird but not too weird.
Probably some Janet.
Yeah, why not? She's got
We all live in a rhythm nation.
Nasty. I'm your nasty girl. Yeah, bear that.
yeah, she's just jamming to it.
Jamming, yeah. As we flip our page, and we come back to Auspice. You are sort of perched on this. Where the window is, there is a small platform that seems to be where things have been placed to, set the window up. And you can still hear whoever is talking, just speaking to themselves as something's also getting dragged along the ground. What you are overlooking is this large room, which seems to be essentially like a medical wing where they could have not really an emergency room, but where they could have, I guess, outpatients. And you see a massive freight elevator at the very back. And you hear somebody still talking and dragging something along the ground as they're speaking.
And as I remember, unmute. Yeah. So from where I am, I can't quite see this person, but I can hear them.
Yes.
Okay. Does it sound like they're below me?
Yes.
Or okay.
You are relatively high up. Not trying to use too much of Arkham Asylum logic, but like imagine the gargoyles from Arkham Asylum and then just the ground.
Okay. So this is going to sound a little weird, but bear with me a moment. I think that if you'll allow it, Auspice has that moment where, very long moment where it was just, oh, what do I see? What do I hear? Okay, that's what's going on. And then like kind of almost melts into action in a way where, coming over the edge of this ledge and is trying to like cling to the wall in a way, slowly come down it to get a better look at what might be below, them. If they can't get a good look at it, it's fine. It's going to just be explosive motion and try and like catch it off guard because I don't want it trying to chase me or stop me when I go to that elevator. You are muted.
I am muted. Give me a dexterity check to see if you can sort of climb down without being seen.
Okay. I'm gonna do some cool stuff. Hopefully, if I can do some math. 13 base plus 7 plus 2 plus. That's an additional 3, I think. Yeah. 21.
Hey.
You scramble down and you're almost like crawling down as we'll say that you're able to get down enough that you can peer around the corner to see whoever is coming down. And you get a view of a spindly woman. I'm going to say spindly because that's a good terminology for them. Wearing what looks to be half of a prison garb essentially. The other half has been torn off. Their skin has tattoos initially that you can see, and then over those tattoos you see several tally marks that have been cut into the skin and then have been healed over. They have blonde hair on one side. The side that is shaved, you see more tally marks have been cut in. Behind them, they are dragging a body, and as they get it to where they want it to be, they sort of set it against the wall and begin to pose it as if it's leaning against the wall. And every time it slightly leans, you see them smack the body up as if they're irritated that it's not doing what she wants it to do, and then continues to try to pose it.
Yeah.
At their back, as they turn to do this, you can see a pair of knives that are around the size of like half of a machete has been just looped into their belt.
I would like to try and steal those.
Give me a dex check.
Just a little casual theft. Fine. Come on, dice, don't fail me now. No, that's not great.
What was it?
Oh, wait. How do edges work again?
Edges are advantage.
Okay, let me not do that. Never mind. That is a nat one.
Oof.
So as you reach and your fingers wrap around the blade, part of the claws on your hand like hit the skin and leave just the barest mark, and that is enough for the person to turn and to look to you, and you see these eyes that the pupils are dilated to such a degree like this there's something wrong as they look to you. Just you what the doctor promised me? You're a new one. You look different. Who are you?
Who are you?
Victoria Zaz.
Zaz. That's a fun name.
You're different.
The same could be said of you. Just kind of that casual look past at the body, trying to be posed.
Are you're with the doctor? No, you don't wear the same things as her.
I'm trying to find a doctor.
Which one?
Some sort of criminal psychologist.
That one. I know where she is. Underneath, below. Where the metal graves are. She said not to come back there. I was say, my experiments are done. She let me wander around here so I can continue my art, continue my work, but I'm running out of models.
What's the vision for this piece, if I might ask?
As she turns to look at the body she's posing. Indifference. Many of the people that worked here were indifferent to our suffering. They didn't understand the marks that I needed to make. They tried to take away what I needed.
And these marks on you?
Yes, my marks. They're important. They help me focus.
They seem like they take a lot of effort.
So much effort. Everyone is a gift that I've had to give myself, and if it wasn't for that cowled angel, I would have continued my work.
Does it have to be you to give you the marks?
The marks only come after I've done my job.
So they can't be gifted by another?
No, it doesn't work that way. I
Pity.
don't. Why are you here? You're here for the doctor, right?
I'm here for the doctor. Someone wants them, you see. wants them to leave this place.
There's no leaving here. You can't leave hell when you're already there.
You can if someone says you can.
Can
Sends
I?
you back out.
Can I leave hell? I'd like to continue my work.
Unfortunately, I'm not the one who gets to make that call.
Uh,
That particular devil is out there somewhere.
you are not the jailer, nor do you have the key. That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. Did you kind of see him tilt and twitch? Like his head her head snaps a little bit. There's more here. I heard crashing earlier. I'm sure that the beast roaming around has found new prey, maybe. I'd be cautious if I were you. Sobek got out a while ago and he is hunting.
And does Auspice know about this particular individual? Would that have been on the news at all?
So about Sobek or about Zaz?
Sobek specifically.
Sobek, yes, you would have heard the story of what I thought was an urban legend of crocodiles in the sewers turned out to be a little bit more true than people wanted to believe, as they discovered a massive, almost human-like crocodile figure that had been roaming the sewers and kidnapping and supposedly consuming people. When questioned on their name, they only gave that they were Sobek. Of course, the news stated that they had been taken to a facility not in Gotham, so this is interesting.
Yeah. Very interesting. Okay. I'm going to put a pin in attacking this individual for now. And if, so long as they don't attack me on my way away, I'm going to go to the freight elevator if I can.
As you start to head there, you hear them all of a sudden just, "Why did you want my knives?"
They're a little shiny. Bit pretty for what they are.
Yes, my daughters are pretty. The only family I have left.
Do they have names?
Elijah and Alice.
They're pretty names.
Yes.
I think I'll be seeing you again soon.
I hope so. You seem to understand me.
I'm told I have a good ear.
At that, so Elijah, as you've been kind of going through the halls, what direction are you going? Because there was X-ray, and then there was for the medical wing and freight elevators.
I think Cadence is heading for... I think he's going to check the freight elevators, but then kind of loop back around to X-ray. I think they're going to kind of check the floor.
So as you're walking by, can you just give me a really quick perception?
You bet. Rolled so far away from me. That's 15.
You see on the ground what looks to be a small tape recorder just before you were going to head through the doors to freight elevator and main hall.
He looks at it and is immediately suspect. Unfortunately, Cadence is a little familiar with items that seem mundane and yet aren't. It is what got them in their current, well, not their current predicament, but it is one of the things that got them on the path to their current predicament. So they're immediately very wary of this tape recorder just sitting on the ground. If there's any way I could like inspect it, I want to see if it's volatile in some way.
I would say just with the perception, I will allow it. As you're kind of looking through, it doesn't appear to be trapped or volatile. It appears to have been incidentally dropped as someone was running and had it on them at the time.
Okay. The
There
anxiety. Go ahead.
does appear to be a blood stain on the tape recorder itself. So it may not have been incidentally dropped. It may have been loosened.
Okay. Cadence is kind of up on the game. Cadence will reach into like the back pocket of like their like the pants that they're wearing, and they'll pull out a small like just like a quick little latex glove. They're not gonna put their fingerprints on this situation, and they'll put it over what they wear on their hand actually, so it's like glove on glove, and they will press play, and if there's a volume rocker, they're turning it down.
So you turn it down a little bit as you press play. There's a crackle, and then just audio log for Dr. Jet Crane. The time is 7:38 p.m., and I am beginning my first step into the rehabilitation process. It is of great insight that Professor Strange has sent me to this place. It is a wonder of minds that have yet to be tapped into their full potentiality. Here specifically, we have people that have been untainted by the aspects of society that permit me from true study into how the brain chemistry works when subject to abject fear. I, of course, am fascinated by the prospect of this study. Of specific notes, I have begun research into the idea of extracting and formulating just what causes that fear. My patients have been less than willing, but given time, I am sure that I will have much more willing test subjects. As of today, I have begun the process of research on one Victoria Zaz. They are a fascinating subject. They seem to have no true abject fears of typical phobias, nothing plaguing the regular mind. However, they have a fear of what I can only ascribe to as the mundanity of life itself. This may be stemming from their unfortunate loss of financial gains and their inability to recover from a horrendous accident that cost them much of their finances. It is taking me a bit to break down the mind to find at the base of this sphere is, but I am getting there. As a patient to Dr. Note, and as a note to myself, I am finding it more and more irritating that my nickname from prior studies has still gone into records here. Though it is all well and good to have these nicknames, to be referred to in such a manner is irritating. Die Vogelschreise is not a good nickname to be having in a place where nobody here speaks German. And the tape recorder goes off.
I'm trying to think if I know what that translates to.
This would be a bit of a hard roll. If you would like to try, I would say give me a intelligence check.
Ooh, that is not the strong suit of one Cadence. That's a flat 19 though.
Flat 19. Die Vogelschüsse, as far as you know, with your small bits of German that you've picked up, living in Metropolis, which is a mecca of every nationality at this point, Die Vogelschüsse translates roughly to the Scarecrow.
Okay.
And as you have finished the tape recording and you push open the door to the medical wing, you see heading towards the freight elevator someone wearing an interesting mask and other costumes accoutrement, which is like, oh, somebody else here in similar garb to myself.
Do I recognize them?
No.
Okay. What do they look like exactly? What am I seeing?
Auspice. You'd like to describe exactly what you're wearing.
You're seeing an individual in a combination of dark clothes, gray clothes, and I don't have it on, but like some kind of rough of what maybe once was white material that has been stained a kind of earthy red. Black bird mask with, there's some white underneath, but it looks like it's been covered in soot to make it not stand out as much. Just, clearly armed with these sharp gauntleted hands, but otherwise no weapons.
All right.
They don't appear to be wearing any armor either, beyond the gauntlets. They are, however, looking at you because the door opened.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Also looking at you now is Victoria Zaz, who catches that there's somebody else and just, oh, it's poor people.
Cadence is going to put his right arm into like the pocket, like a small pocket on his belt, and it's going to kind of just like palm one of his sonic grenades. Hasn't activated it. It activates similar to the sound inverters, but it's got like 2 points as opposed to just like a singular button. It just keeps it so that like by the virtue of grabbing it, it doesn't like activate it. You have to like have to intently hold it in a certain way.
It's not like a plasma grenade where you pick it up and it's already ready to go.
Yeah. And he's gonna look at the both of them and go, well, I'm going to go out on a limb and say one of you is a patient here, at least.
I was.
Cadence is gonna like look over at Zaz, who has responded to the statement.
They have, to keep the pose going, have stabbed one of the knives into the body to keep it in place while they're posing the arm.
Not to be rude, but is doing a lot of heavy lifting there.
I'm not in a cage right now.
And you, looking at Auspice.
I imagine I'm here for similar reasons to you, though I don't know what you're looking for.
So you think our reasons are similar, but you don't know what I'm looking for?
Well, you wouldn't be here unless you were looking for something. I don't know if you've noticed the chaos outside.
Oh, I have indeed noticed the chaos outside. I'm not looking for anything in specific. I'm looking for...
You should see the greenhouse.
Ominous.
I will agree. I am looking for why this place has gone dark, and I'm trying to fix it.
That is an interesting idea. I wish you luck with it.
And before you trounce out, what exactly is it that you are looking for?
A person.
And what person is that exactly?
There's someone downstairs. You can come along if you want.
As you say this, Adelia, The other side of the doors open
Oh God.
as you also come into the medical wing.
Deli is wearing workout leggings and a jacket with the workout. It's got the AirPods in and sunglasses on her head. Just looks at her watch and like it's pretends like they don't see you. Like
This is Zaz like looks over. Oh, there's more.
All right. Well, I'm going to deal with that in a second, like pointing to a deli. But right now, and I didn't quite get names from the two of you.
Victoria says.
Playing is
excuse me. I'm looking for my friends.
Look down the list. Look up. Look down. Look up.
I would say I'm almost certain I don't know them, but
No, you do. You definitely know them.
yeah.
They got you into the Iceberg Lounge once.
Oh no, I know that person. I don't
Yeah.
necessarily know her
Your
friends.
Yeah, they're my best friends. Their names are. Look at the list.
Look at the
Read the
phone.
names.
Look at smeared hand.
I can't
Timmy,
remember the names
Johnny.
I just gave.
Freddie.
the names are going to change every time.
Ricky, Johnny,
And
eggs,
Bill.
bacon. Sorry, that's my grocery list.
I could have sworn there was like a Jacob in there at one point.
There
was.
at some point, but
John
It doesn't
Jacob
matter.
Dinkelheimer Smith.
There's a
Yep.
Freddy, I think. That's fine.
Frankie, Franco, something like
It's
that.
Franco, Jacob, Tony, and
Like AA
Yeah.
Ron or something like
Yeah.
that.
You got to write these down. That's
I'm
so
gonna put
funny.
it just in our chat.
Yeah, they're my
Perfect.
best friends. I need to pick them up.
What
I
do you,
don't
what do
think
you what do
they're
you
in
mean
this
pick them
room.
up?
Well, we have an appointment, and they're here accidentally.
Oh no. All right.
Just slowly making my way. Just y'all are having that conversation. I'm going for the freight elevator because I don't know any of those people and I don't want to.
As you hit the button for the freight elevator, you kind of hear this like electrical and a slow ascent of the elevator as it starts to come up. Speaking of, at this time too, King, as you've been running away from Sobek, for the sake of getting the group together, as you've been running away from Sobek, you pushing open several doors, find yourself where she came from, where Adeli came from, is one side. From Cadence from the other, and then from kind of like a door from the center, King, you push open and you see the freight elevator and then everyone else.
Cool. Is the freight it's coming up, and so it's not
coming
a run.
up. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Also,
so
I will say, from where you've pushed open the door, you can see a cell that's been made that's about 3 times the size of the other cells that you've seen, with the bars pushed open from the inside. A giant chain and collar on the ground split in half, and then what looks like an entire like side of a cow that's been mostly eaten hanging off of that.
So I think King is going to give this group a wide berth. Like, if there's a place to be like up and away from the rest of them, I would love to do that.
There's a stairwell that you can take that kind of like overlooks the place as almost an observatory.
Okay.
Can we see King?
Everyone can give me a perception check. King, if you want to be stealthy, give me a dex.
Would love that. I would love to do that.
Okay, that's 15 for me.
You've got to chill. Okay, well, no, you're not going to see him.
It's an 18 for me.
Okay, so you have a chance. I'm doing math. Give me 1 second. 19. 24. See, stealth is what I do. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
See, but stealth is also what I do. I just got a bad roll.
Sure. See, but stealth and perception are not the same because I couldn't see you when you went.
True, I suppose. True.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so just like creak that door open, and then we're going to get as small as possible and just sneak into the room. So if they haven't seemed to notice me, I actually want to go to the freight because that's going to be a way to get around better.
That'll be a 22 for me, unfortunately.
Just barely.
Yeah.
No.
King, you are going to make your way to the freight elevator, still coming up. As this conversation is happening, all of you now hear the sound of an intercom crackle, and then just, if you would just make your way down to the freight elevator, I have your friend's files. I know what cells they are in, and you are not alone.
No, I have some people with me. I don't know who they are, but they're here. They need to go downstairs too.
Oh, good. Great.
Okay, that you know what? That's going to do it. And Cadence grips the sonic grenade and then just like not even being subtle about it, just straight up like baseball pitches it right at Zaz. Like
All right. Give me an attack roll.
you got it. One moment.
What's your defense, Zaz? It's not high. I know that much. You have no armor.
That's a 23.
That's hitting her. She's got no armor, dog. Jeez. Hold on while I look up.
Let's see. I'm gonna assume that people are still semi close to Zaz as well, right?
No, most of them are actually near the freight elevator, so it's just
okay.
her.
People have moved. All right, cool. That's
I
fine.
started over in that
Give me-
direction. Not.
I've got to get
You
down there to pick up my buddies.
Y'all got lucky then. I also need a con save from Zaz.
All right, I'm gonna give the con save.
I would like to remark that as object was thrown, Auspice, kind of tried to shift to the other side of the elevator. Is this one of those like freestanding freight elevators or like built into the wall?
It's like built in.
Okay.
It's very much like a cargo elevator almost.
Okay.
And
I guess I can't hide behind it, but it's just ooh.
so she rolled
I
a
want to
nat
be where that
one.
is.
So she rolled a nat one.
Ooh.
Oof.
She is stunned for 2 rounds max.
Yeah, there is this as you throw it, and there's this. The flash is the one thing, and then there's just this loud, ear-splitting, bursting sound as Zaz like clasps her hands to her ears and hits the ground as the freight elevator comes up and the doors to it open.
Would it be fair to say that I can take advantage of this situation to kind of just like I want to use like my zip ties to like basically subdue Zaz in this moment because
I would say so.
Okay, cool. Like zip ties around like behind the back and then like in the feet, like ankles at the ankles basically. And I want to leave Zaz here. I'm gonna make a mental note to be like, this is where Zaz is. I will come back and put her in the cell later. Like that's
Yeah.
And then I want to turn to face the freight elevator because I don't know who the rest of these fools are. So very well could it be that I need to subdue them also.
I'll step it into the elevator as it comes up, and as it does, gonna just remark, you might want to do something about those knives if you're just going to leave her there.
Oh, sure, fine, whatever. And I grab the knives and I'm gonna is there like a shelf or something that's high up that I can
Yeah, I would say that you could just place it in one of the cells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the. Yeah, Auspice is correct. I'm gonna get the knives away from Zaz.
Okay. Who else is stepping onto the freight elevator at this time?
Adele is, you know.
Is everyone just going out of the elevator? Yeah.
Okay. Is there a way I can get like on top of it?
From where it is situated, because it's sort of like built into the wall.
Mhm. Would I have to like let it go down a little bit?
You would have to let it go down a bit.
Fine. Perfect. Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so two of you. All right, and as Zaz is subdued, the elevator is still like kind of waiting. It has the two people in. Cadence, you also going to get on.
Yep, I got to deal with these folks.
Door closes. So the elevator door closes as it begins to go down. I would say probably at that time, King, you get onto the top.
Yeah.
For no reason at all, I want the three of you in the elevator. Give me a Constitution check.
That's my worst stat. Oh no. No.
How'd you do?
I rolled a 1.
Ooh.
And my Constitution's a -1. So I can't.
Oh my
didn't roll
God.
anything. I didn't roll
Oh, no.
anything.
Oh no.
It's a 17.
Can I steal some of your points?
So 1 second. I've got a nat 20, but I've got something for this. That is. Where did it go? Would this count as imminent peril or reacting to a frightening situation?
Technically, no.
Cool. Then it would just be a 21.
Okay. The three of you kind of give like a little cough. Just like something tickles your throat and just this like two of you detect that there's this weird scent that has hit your nose for half of a second. This sort of strange, almost like an adrenaline scent.
Ooh, I don't like that.
Adele, you don't detect that scent, but you start to feel your heart rate increasing a bit.
Oh god. Okay.
Yeah, quick question.
Yes.
From inside the freight elevator, is there a hatch to get out of the freight elevator?
There's one on the top.
I would like to try and use the hatch.
King, you see the hatch start to move.
Cool beans. Okay, then whatever way it flips up, I'm gonna be on that side so they don't see me when it when
Cool.
they come out.
As you pop open the hatch, King is on the other side, so you do not immediately see King.
So, like, King, you get to watch the hatch more or less fly open, a claw come out, and just something rolling itself up. Flipping up there, like, yep, nope, we're not in the elevator no more.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so both of you now get to see as you specifically have like popped open the thing and have looked up for that moment. You see several bodies dangling by their feet at the top of where the elevator will be connected, hanging from the elevator wires.
Great.
The
Charming.
continues to descend down.
I shouldn't have come inside. That you hear.
Was that out loud?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. We gotta get our people. Let's go. And Adele's like tapping the
You
watch.
you say that, and as you're saying this, you hear your words echo. As the elevator seems to be getting bigger.
Oh dear.
To you.
Okay, I was gonna say for everybody.
Nope, just to you.
Just to Adelaide. Sorry, babes. That -1's about to do you some unkindness.
Yeah.
As if it's getting larger, the lights in the elevator also start to go out. Until there's a single light that is just on you as you feel the elevator stop. Just to you.
Can I take my lighter out so that I can have some light, more light?
As you take your lighter out and you flick it on, you immediately hear the sound of a wick burning. As your lighter is flicked on, you see a large wick, as if to a stick of dynamite, as it's flicked on, come out of the lighter and start to go down. For Cadence, you see Adele take out her lighter, flick it on, no fire come out of it, and just staring like above where the light should be.
You all right?
You cannot hear your own voice. You feel yourself speaking. You cannot hear a word you've said. As everyone here hears, go ahead.
I have to do something. Hold on. One moment. Is it meets it beats it here?
Yes.
Okay, cool. No stunned for me. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I have the trauma disadvantage, and that triggered that.
Buddy. Oh no.
As all of you hear that doom da doom doom. Elevator now arriving at lower levels.
So Adele hears that too?
Yes. As the wick gets to the very bottom, and there's just this like as a little party cannon comes out of the lighter.
Okay, that's fun actually.
I love that.
Yeah, I think they would laugh at that.
The elevator door opens, and you all see a concrete and brick lower level. What looks to be essentially a small furnace has been set up with a cage around it to prevent people from coming through. There is very little light here. I would say that's the only thing that all of you see, except because you got the lowest roll, unfortunately, I have to give you one of the harder things you see. As you see at the very far back, you can see a single wooden chair set up. And you hear in your head just the voices. She's not a cobblepot. The one thing that you have to be, and you can't even be that. But it's fine. We'll have a perfect place for you. As long as you don't screw up, everything will be just fine.
That's coming from the chair?
Yes.
Does the voice sound familiar at all?
Yes, it sounds like Octavia's dad, who was the original head of the Cobblepot crime family.
And do I think I'm alone, or do I see everybody around me?
You can, again, there's only that light. So you're just kind of seeing yourself as everyone else seems to be in darkness. You know there's other people, but you can't see them.
Okay. So I'm going to defend myself. I hate that I'm doing this. And say, I am a cobblepot. You're not going to take that from me.
I recognize the name Cobblepot?
Yep, they are not so much as the notorious crime family, but you definitely recognize the name Cobblepot as rich and maybe corrupt.
Cadence's eyes behind the mask in a comic book style narrow, like very Spider-Man-y, like it's a mask, but somehow it follows my expressions.
And I want to throw something at him, but I don't know what I have in my pocket. I just want to throw it at this imaginary person.
Out of the fact, I'm going to roll a D100. And if I get high is bad, low is good. So anything above 51 is going to be a little bad. It's an 86. Okay. Ooh. So you fish into your pocket and you pull out the first thing that comes into your hand to throw it. Now to you, it just looks like a rock. To the rest of the group, it is assuredly a grenade.
Mm.
Now, you haven't pulled the pin of said
No.
grenade, but you do chuck it as hard as you can at the chair. And as it tinks off of the chair, which it, for everyone else, it just hits the brick wall and rolls harmlessly against the ground. There is this just moment of like, well, could have been worse. As you see, as it rolls, the pin just kind of casually falls off.
Sorry.
I am climbing these cables. Bye.
So it's just a brick wall. There's not.
You see the brick wall, and then far to the back of it is just a metal door. This grenade is maybe about 15 feet away from the elevator. Enough so that would it destroy the elevator? Probably not. But would the shrapnel cause some problems? Yes. I would like everyone to give me a dexterity check.
Even the ones of us up top.
Yeah, it's still gonna hit the elevator.
Got it. Sure.
I'm sorry, y'all.
No, don't be.
This is funny.
Hilarious.
I'm glad I have edge.
18.
Oh, yeah.
17.
Okay.
It's a nat 20.
Nice.
That's 23 totes for your boy. Just making sure. I would like to, if I could, is there anything nearby that I could possibly use to maybe just like swat that grenade a little bit further away?
If you want to be comic book cool, you could use the meteor hammer.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, but I'm thinking if I hit an explosive device with a metal object, that's not good. So like what I want to do is use the hammer to kind of lasso something and swat it away.
I could say you could probably like yoink one of the older parts of the brick, or even maybe one of like a piece of wood, and just swing it out to kick it further back. Yeah,
that's what I'm aiming for. So let me.
It technically be a dex. Nobody here is super strength focused. I would say give me a dex or strength check.
Okay, that's gonna be a 17. Just to be sure. 17.
I would say you knock it back far enough that the explosion will cause a little less damage, and as you do, and there's this burst of shrapnel as it impacts against the freight elevator. The shrapnel predominantly misses everybody, but it does hit the freight elevator and should make a loud noise for everyone here, except for Cadence. It all makes an incredibly loud noise. Cadence, you just hear a muffled explosion.
So what happens is everybody like just like scrambles away when they see this, except for I assume for Adeli. Cadence like pulls the sound of silence and like wraps it around like their arm and like swings out, and it like pierces into a piece of wood, and then he swings it around his neck and then like yanks real hard, and it flies out, and the piece of wood just like tumbles and like just like hits the grenade, and it just like kind of like a shuffleboard kind of situation, just like pink just like moves it away. And then Cadence kind of just like pushes themselves flat up against the wall of the freight elevator.
As you push yourself against the wall of the freight elevator, you feel a cold metallic sensation at your back.
Mm-hmm.
That does not feel like the freight elevator.
That's a situation for after the explosion is done.
For Adeli, as this flash like finishes and you slowly pull your hand away, you no longer see this concrete hall. You instead see the beautiful wooden and carpeted flooring of the old Cobblepot Manor. Several windows lining the hall with the rainfall outside. Lightning illuminates part of this hall. It's familiar, but you haven't been here in a while.
Is there like the hallway like lead to a room?
The hallway just seems to go on forever, but you can see a door on the very far end of the hall.
Oh, that's. I wish I hadn't rolled that negative. But that's where my negative rolling self is going.
And for this is too much fun. Osmus, the explosion emanates, and as you have still been climbing, you look up and you no longer see where the freight elevator continues into darkness. You just see a rooftop. As if you are back out on the streets of Gotham to the rooftop of one of the many buildings of the cavalcade. And as you look back down, you can still see the freight elevator and back up at just the rooftop of the cavalcade.
This is trippy and weird and not great. And I think as she's clinging to the cable, she tries to take a moment to like, okay, let's center ourselves. Let's calm down. Let's think about this rationally.
King,
Don't think it works.
Yeah.
as the one that didn't enter the elevator properly, you hear over the intercom, test subjects are experiencing different dosages and mild changes in heart rate, and this is fascinating. Except for one of you. What makes you so different? You didn't enter the elevator, of course. That's unfortunate, but we always need a control group.
Do we receive compensation for these tests?
Your compensation would be that you are benefiting humanity.
So no.
If you're looking for monetary, no.
Ah, okay. Well, I would like to opt out of any experiments or tests. I wasn't much one for tests in school.
I understand that. Unfortunately speaking, because of our positioning right now and also the grenade going off near my laboratory, it's going to be a bit harder for me to get you out of this place. And also, the acting as the control group, I do need you for a bit of study. You'll have to forgive me for that part.
I could just go on my own. You seem to have many test subjects already.
Yes, but you are specifically fascinating. Your heart rate hasn't gone up.
No. This is baseline, really.
Strange. It should be increasing. I suppose I'll have to run a different test on this variable.
No, I don't know. I don't know if you had. I'm opting out of the tests, so it won't be necessary. In fact, I was actually just leaving myself. I was here to, survey. I've seen everything I need to see. I can go.
The Konsnicht Verterwissenschafts darf laufen, Kleinmaus. I'm sorry, I sometimes lapse into German. Would you like me to translate?
Did you call me a mouse?
Yes, you can't run from science, little mouse. A moment. I just need to make sure that something goes correctly. As you hear the intercom go off, and the freight elevator seems to, almost seems to lock into position. Perfect. If you would be so kind as to step out of the freight elevator.
I think just here's a string of mumbled curses. I do want to look for another way out, but we'll eventually go. Like the effort's been made, but I definitely want to,
You looking around, you can still see Auspice hanging from the elevator wire. You get a glimpse. Does your mask have reveal your eyes?
It's
Not yours, not King's, Auspice's.
Oh yeah.
Part of me wants to say no, but part of me thinks it's quite interesting if it does. So I'm gonna go with it does.
You being able to get a small glimpse can see their eyes look a little more bloodshot, and there is a massive dilation of the pupils.
I see. I understand. Okay. Making sure that the mask is tight over the face. Sure. I'll play their little experiment. Oh god, that's so off. There we go.
If you would do me a favor then, control group, and try to herd the others out of the elevator as well.
The others. Does that include the one that was doing a climbing exercise?
Yes.
Hey GM, how much of this is Auspice hearing, if any at all?
Auspice, you can hear, like, it's almost as if the voices are this muffled thunder. You can hear bits and pieces, not enough to flesh things together. It doesn't help that they are also overshadowed by old memories that are also coming in as voices. You can hear Panther's voice coming in, just kind of asking if you're going to be at the party. Hannah Dent talking about the potential of how the city is going to look like. Members of the cavalcade speaking to you of the importance of your work. Everything is kind of meshing together.
Deeply unpleasant. Got it.
Bird lady, I need you down here.
It's, again, this distant thunder. It's a little bit easier to pick out, as now you can hear just like, Bird, need you here.
And I can't figure out the direction this thunder's coming from.
It seems
Hannah.
to be coming from everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing I can even vaguely trust right now is that I'm holding something.
Mm-hmm.
Part of me wants to try and climb, but if I can't figure out where I'm climbing, that's dangerous. I'm actually going to stop climbing and start letting myself slide down instead until I can touch solid ground.
As you begin to let yourself slide down, King, you're seeing them go down, and it's like, okay, they're going down the elevator cable. Everything is fine. Auspice, as you're going down, your hands start to feel slick. And as you get to the bottom, as you look, they are caked in blood. And as your feet hit the ground, hit solid ground, they just push into pools of blood. That seem to just layer the bottom of the elevator as you start to be able to piece together and see other people, but there is this almost film over it.
Okay. Hey, are you here?
You can now pick up the voice better, and you can see where it's coming from.
As I'm looking at you, King, it's just like this kind of as if trying to like hone in on what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then she holds up a finger. And I don't know sign, but I think she does, considering A, she works with Francine, and B, her line of work. And she's going to see if she can get around the sound nonsense by communicating in sign. And the first thing she asks is, can you understand me?
Cadence, You
I think I
see,
can.
you see, to your vision, what looks like a humanoid owl of some variety with hands land on the ground in front of you, look up and start to sign, "Can you understand me?" to the air. But you can understand that.
A slow nod from Cadence, even though they don't necessarily feel like that's directly at them.
I notice Cadence.
Yes.
Okay.
So here's where some issue is going to come into what you notice from Cadence, because Adeli got the worst end of the fear toxin, so is going to be affected by it a lot harsher than the rest of you, to the point that Adeli can only see the hallucination.
Mm.
It doesn't mean that the fear toxin did affect either of you. It just means that the two of you can see other things as a
Yeah.
film. So where you see Cadence, it is this almost like a holographic depiction of a sound wave in the body of a human. Any motion that they make, you can see like a sound wave.
Yeah. Okay.
Cadence, in effort to see Auspice, you see, like I said, almost like a humanoid owl-like shape. The worst end of this is if any of you look to King.
Yeah.
Because
Well, I mean,
on the
yes.
best of circumstances, King does not necessarily look completely human. Under the effects of this toxin, you are seeing what looks like a consistently moving and shifting painting that seems to leave a graffiti trail of art behind as they move.
Oh, this is so trippy. I love it.
Mhm.
I think I would argue just a little that Cadence is coming from Metropolis and knowing that there's like a meta-human and stuff there, would argue like would kind of like try and rationalize like, okay, something is wrong here,
Mhm.
trying to convince themselves to stay calm. Like it's not necessarily out of the realm of a possibility for some sort of like supernatural weird stuff to happen. So they're like, okay, whatever this is, if I stay calm and rational about it, I'll be able to figure it out, and like keeping themselves from like basically going further into fear.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Not necessarily seeing through the illusion, just like being like, okay,
Yeah.
this is clearly something weird. It'll be all right. I'll get through it.
From a similar stance, well, I say similar goal from a different angle. Cadence has encountered poisons, has administered poisons, has been exposed to things, and it's like weird things happen when you get exposed to weird shit. So I should not do anything rash while I'm under the effects of whatever this is.
Basically.
I would like that, but I rolled so low, I don't think it's a
Yeah.
possibility.
No. No, and as far as you know, that door is probably your only exit out. And also probably where Tony, Timmy, Toby, and AA Rod are.
All the people.
Mhm. Okay. All right. All of you are clearly affected by something whoever you are did. So, actually, they realize there was an attempt at sign language. So they're going to switch to that.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Does it work, GM?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, just technically, it's so how. Oh,
Uh-oh.
Oh no, what happened?
We've
Fear toxin.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
there we go.
Okay.
Technically, as you are signing the words out, it's just, it looks strange because it's, as you're like signing, the words take on a pictorial motif.
Okay.
It's like playing the best game of charades because you can see what they mean, but the
Mhm.
problem is that sometimes people don't necessarily mean what they're saying.
Right. Okay.
Hey, but that's better than nothing.
It's
Yes.
true. Have to work together.
What is
While you're
happening?
doing that, while you're doing that, I'm trying to get through the door.
Yep. Yep. You are. We're gonna go through you for a second as you are heading down the hall, heading towards the door. You can continue to hear the same voices. Just listen. Just because she's a little eccentric, it doesn't mean that she's not a cobblepot. It just means that we have to guide her in the right direction. As there's like another lightning crash, and the hall seems to shift in angle to where you're walking almost diagonally now down this hall. And time seems to have passed as well, as you hear similarly Octavia Cobblepot just, I mean what I say when I say this. I'm not removing you from the family. I'm placing you in a better position to where your skills are more well suited. I don't think that this is the place for you. I promise. We're still family. There's another lightning crash. Place seems to shift again until you are walking upside down this hall. As you come closer to the door, and what was a wooden door, you can now see is a metal door with a single slat in the center with your name written above it, almost like a prison door. As long as you work with me, we will just owe each other favors. I promise you. I'm not going to let anything happen to my favorite cousin.
Do I see where the voice is coming from?
It seems to be coming from inside of that door. You thought it'd be easy?
And the door is closed.
Door is closed.
Can I open it?
So you reach out and you place your hand on the handle. The handle feels warm, but it does turn.
Okay. Y'all, she wants to throw something at this lady, but Janie knows it's not real.
Do it. Throw the thing. Throw the thing.
Okay.
Let the character make the choice.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna say, "You're not gonna tell me what to do anymore," and throw a rock.
I'm gonna roll that D100.
Please roll low.
It's low. You throw what is probably a burner phone like through the door. It clatters against a stone floor.
Okay.
For those of you that see reality, she had walked forward to the single door that was there, past the furnace, opened the door to what looked like a series of observation windows to different medical areas, and just threw a phone. This is, by the way, me saying this full well. Two of you have a slightly different filmed version of what that looks like. King, that's what you see in total. Cadence, you see as they open the door, this like void that you can see as a film over the reality. And as the phone clatters and hits the ground, you see where sound is like bouncing off of where it hits, and it seems to just bounce everywhere. For I'm scrolling around. Auspice, as the phone hits the ground, it kicks up what looks like a skull that slowly rotates and then hits against the wall, as again this blood-soaked tile flooring, as you see handprints pressed against the glass of this observation that seem to appear and disappear, some dragging down.
Okay. Why does she keep throwing things?
The sign language you get back is,
Right.
why is the floor wrong?
Right, you're seeing things.
There's your answer.
I'd love to circle back on the cold metallic thing that Cadence was feeling.
If you want to look back.
Just because I didn't want to ignore it, because obviously you said it for a reason. So
Mhm. Do I say things for a reason?
No, I don't
No.
think so.
But do you want to look back?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you look back, you see behind you what appears to be a gurney.
Okay. And I think that kind of steals his resolve a little bit, because I think he gets what's going on right now. Because he remembers being on a gurney. He remembers being in a hospital room for a very long time. And he remembers like only seeing people move and not hearing anyone move. He remembers seeing a television
Mm-hmm.
on and not hearing, like, he remembers seeing Steve Urkel move and remember thinking there is a laugh track there that is not playing. And there is a did I do that isn't heard. Like there are people looking at him and moving away from him, speaking, knowing that he can't hear and that they're right, he can't hear.
Mm-hmm.
And like just that helplessness and that terrifying feeling of just like being in a space and so used to like everything, and all it is just like a subtle, just like dull ringing. And so that gurney gets no more attention from him after that point. It was kind of like a look over the shoulder kind of thing, and as soon as he sees it, he's just like, nope. Mm-mm. It's not to say that it doesn't affect him, but like he's like, no, I don't need to relive that anymore.
As each of you, King, you hear this in a slightly less strange and warped tone. But for each of you, you all hear. Excellent. The process is moving along smoothly. If you'll be so kind as to step through the door, I just have to observe how it is going.
All right. Again, inside, we are test subjects. We get through until we can find the good doctor. Air quotes. Be on your guard.
Hey, Javante.
Yeah.
What's the name of this psychologist I'm supposed to be finding?
Dr. Jet Crane.
Great. Can't kill this man.
I've done nothing wrong.
Did I hear King at all, or am I still completely in my delusion?
You're still in your delusion. You can pick
Okay.
up the voice, but it doesn't sound like King. It sounds like one of your relatives talking.
Well, then I'm going to tell King that he can't tell me what to do.
Okay. Do you want to stay here? Is that what you want? Do you want to stay here?
No, I want to get my
Then come this way for your friends.
So the last time I do this for you.
Sure.
All right.
And
Sure.
I think I do think that Auspice, after that exchange, kind of catches King's attention and more or less gives you the rundown of she's a bit off on the best days. Don't take it personal.
I'm not taking it personal. I'm just confused. What?
That's normal.
Got it. Understood.
Adeli, as you still looking down that hall, you see a hand with a little too long of fingers kind of like drag against the side of the wall before it goes through the door.
And that's on the other side where
Yes.
I think the relative.
Where you threw the phone,
Yeah.
there's this observation windows, and then there's another door, and that's where you saw the hand like drag and then go through the door. You see a sign that just reads Memory Lane. For King, a sign that reads Morgue.
I'll say, what's that going into memory lane?
There's no memory lane here.
So, what are you seeing then?
The morgue. The morgue.
All right. Well, considering that we are where we are, I'm going to say that it's more likely the morgue than memory lane.
Do I hear that? Do I think these are all my relatives?
Yeah.
Well, you're always telling me what to do.
I didn't tell you anything about what to do.
Yeah, but do you listen?
Oh, well,
That's it's you've heard that one enough times. I'm not even gonna.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I got your number, fam. Let's go. You want to play this game? Let's go.
Oh goodness.
Well, I don't want to listen to you anymore. I'm independent.
You're always independent. Always doing what you want.
About time you saw that.
Yeah, well, it's about time you saw sense, but we're not here for that. So, we don't go down memory lane. We keep going elsewhere. Is there another place to go? Or
No,
is the morgue
unfortunately,
where we
there
have
is just that one door. It's like I appreciate all of that, but like there is the door.
And then they look, it's like,
There's the door. There's also all the observation windows, which, by the way, you cannot see. There seems to be some like cloudiness to it, but there is in front of each. There's four. There's four in front of each one. There is a small tape recorder that has been placed, which seems to have been designed for that. If you're observing, you state what you're seeing.
got it. Or because we don't really have any other options, we go into the morgue.
We go into Bone Town.
We go down memory lane. Okay.
all right.
Into the ossuary.
Hey, don't throw things. Don't throw things.
Well, how else am I going to get people to listen?
You don't have to hurt people to make them listen.
Use your words.
By the by, for the other two of you, the buttons that you're seeing in front of these windows do not look like tape recorders. For both of you, for Auspice, they look like eyes. Just observing ceramic eyes, looking directly there. They have a single button at the center.
Don't want to look at those.
Yep.
That's spooky.
And for Cadence, each of the tape recorders is shaped more like a giant I just forgot hearing aid with a single butt at its center. I forgot the word for hearing aid, guys.
It'd be like that sometimes.
It'd be like that.
To themselves, like this just feels more offensive than terrifying at this point. just internal. Ooh, spooky hearing aid. You couldn't hear.
Why would I be scared of the thing that helps me hear, you dummy?
Right.
Yeah, we could
No.
just blow this all up.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. We've
Yeah.
already tried that. Did not go exactly as I'm sure anyone intended.
There are people inside. A lot of bad, but
You, by the way, you say that you hear distinctly in the back of your head. What is the one thing I told you to do?
I gotta get my friends A. Aaron and D. Nice.
Why do you keep looking at your phone?
Because I have to get my friends. I have to look at their names.
So you don't know the names of your friends?
No, she didn't. She just told them to me the other day, and I keep forgetting them.
So they are not your friends.
Not really, but they're my friends. I have to get them out of here.
I have no notes. This is great.
Not D nice.
Be nice.
I'm dead. I'm screaming.
Gone.
Yep. Having steeled resolve, just like, okay, don't look at the eyeballs. Don't look at that. Don't try and
Mhm.
figure out what's beyond those windows, because I don't want to know what's beyond that. Into the dead people place,
Mhm.
because that can't go wrong.
No.
Yep.
So down memory lane we go, I guess.
Pushing past the observations.
Yeah, I'm not looking at there.
So
Yep.
Cadence. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Following.
Okay. All right. Whereas everyone continues to move down through, and they come to the door to the morgue / memory lane. Pushing open the door, you are all greeted by an immediate sense of cold. It is freezing in this place.
Just saying, a small grenade over there would make some heat for us.
For like 2 seconds.
Okay, you got a good point there.
What is it with you and grenades?
I'm developing some to help blow things up better.
You hear, King, you hear somebody softly mumbling something to themselves on the ground around the corner of where you all are standing, which, by the way, think of it like a genuine, almost like a morgue. The metal, I don't know what the slats are, where the bodies are called.
Slabs.
Slabs. Lighting the entire sides. There's 2 hallways, offices, observation. And near offices is where you hear somebody like mumbling to themselves.
Just holds up a finger. Puts just... Shh. I'm going to go and peek. I'm going to peek around. Very quietly.
On the ground, like curled up into the fetal position, you see a young male, maybe in his early 20s at this point, dyed blonde hair, kind of cut a little. The only way I can describe it is twinkish.
That pixie cut look.
Yeah, like the pixie cut look. wearing a doctor's uniform within of the little name tag that you can see intern like plastered above that, curled up on themselves, just kind of rocking.
Okay.
Poor kid.
All right, cool. So we're just gonna hand over mouth, and we're just gonna go pull them back.
Oh, the person is talking, this mumbling.
Mhm.
Yeah, hand goes over their mouth. You just hear the.
I will let your mouth go if you promise to be quiet.
Okay.
Okay. Let them go. Help them up. You are an intern.
Yeah,
Good. Maybe you can explain.
I got hired on before all of this happened by Crane. They were interested in my own work, I guess. Stuff started to go wrong with experimentations. I don't really know what she was doing. The warden left for something. Not sure what. I think it was a meeting. Crane took charge, started experimenting more in earnest, and some of the criminals didn't go back into their cells willingly. There were escape attempts and a lot of violence. Crane didn't seem to care. Wanted more experimentation. Ran out of willing criminals. Started using doctors.
Yet you have managed to stay alive, cowering in the corner as you have.
I wasn't exactly. I was one of the lucky ones who survived the first couple injections and then just hid in one of the slabs.
Injections.
Initial experimentations with toxin. The initial experimentations used injections that stimulated the adrenal glands, specifically targeting the parts of the brain that affect audio and visual hallucinatory effects. If you overstimulate the adrenal glands, you can hyperfixate somebody on their fears. That was the initial tests. Moved from injections to inhalants. Now they use both. I was only injection based.
Got it. Going to just check this man's pockets.
It's typical doctor's gear. You see pencils, shreds of some paper,
Okay.
and their name tag, which lists them as currently interns. They do not have doctor in their name yet because they have not graduated from school. But this is Harold Quinzel.
Huh?
Twig.
Twink. Okay. Good. Well, mostly I just wanted to make sure that there was no, hidden syringe on them.
Yep.
So so as long as they're on the up and up, that's fine. You should go back to your slab.
Okay.
Pull what out? Sneak out. This one's open.
He like looks. Okay. What are you all doing?
Figuring out who this is and stopping them because they're keeping me here against my will. So,
Yeah, that seems to be how it works here.
right.
They like look over and see probably the most terrifying person they've ever seen in their life around the corner. Just, I'm gonna go into my slab now.
Good. And not long, I will relay that information to the rest of the party. If you want to talk to them, they are in a slab.
Does that help any of us like resist this at all or no?
We can go back.
I'm muted.
Oh,
The amount of time that this has been taking, you're starting to feel the effects diminish. It's slow, but the film around is starting to go
Okay.
away. You are also still feeling this like accelerated heartbeat, sense of fear, but you are good for now.
Is how much light is in this space?
A soft blue glow.
Okay. Because I have my trait is night sight, so as long as there's a
Same.
dim source of light, I can see what's going on. So
Yeah.
Ooh. Actually, gonna reopen the slab.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't freak out. Act dead.
Okay.
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 Were they working on an antidote?
No. Dr. Crane, Dunker Crane said, why would we cure fear when fear is the most important emotion?
And they work here.
Yeah.
well,
I'm just an intern. I don't know.
at the risk of being obvious, and Cadence like makes like a show of like putting their finger in the air and putting Donker, Kane. Yep, they're on my list. Okay.
That seems fair. Okay. You have to stay there.
Okay.
Close it back. Okay, so
You
then
hear like a thudding noise as he's trying to get to the position of playing dead.
That's fine. So, how do we proceed?
In my
How do you-
preparation for this space, sorry,
You're good.
was there any like, hey, this is what we know about the old building or anything like
You
that?
definitely have a blueprint that you probably have memorized.
Okay.
You know where the morgue leads, to the right where the offices are. More than likely, that is where Crane's official office is.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that Crane does not seem to be an official person by any means, so they could be there. They could also be in the observation.
And considering what's going on, it would make more sense to be an observation because your office is harder to seal from the vents.
Mm-hmm.
And I will pass that along because
Okay.
Well, he saw me when I came in from through the front door.
an observation is a solid bet.
Is there a camera room?
Security, perhaps. But if you know how to get into the feeds, I'm no doubt you can do so from observation.
More than likely.
I-
It should be noted, if we go anywhere else, especially higher up, we will have to be careful of Sobek.
I'm sorry. What?
Zaz mentioned them. They were
Oh yeah, you didn't hear?
supposedly
Yeah, you didn't hear about the myth made real about the crocodiles in the Suez.
Sorry, I'm not from around here.
Ah, yeah, I noticed.
There's a whole thing. He was allegedly incarcerated elsewhere. Clearly, they lied.
Oh, most certainly, he's here. First thing I ran into.
Well, that must have been a fun beginning of the night. What are you all doing here, by the way?
None of your
I
business.
already told you what I'm here for.
And my cousin wanted me to get some friends, and I wanted to test out my explosives.
Okay. You did say you have been saying repeatedly, and then like turning to King, going to put a pin in that one.
We completely skipped over the second part of what she said. And I wanted to test out my explosives.
We'll get back around to that. We will get back around to that.
I was literally about to be like, So the explosives thing, right?
We can
Yeah.
work with this. How
Yeah, I
better
don't
to make a
think-
door?
Yeah, I can make a door.
No, that's all right. You hold on, and looks over, pulls up the imaginary list. Okay, and you said your name was again, looking at Adele.
Susan.
Question. Did she look up when she did that? Did she go,
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Cadence does the Keenan face, the like I just know. Okay, well, whatever your name is, going to add you to the list. Just going to do that. All right.
What is this list? Because you as you have said, you're not even from here. So what is this list?
To quote someone I met very recently, none of your business.
Well, I'm from here, so I feel like perhaps there's more business.
Okay, I'm pretty sure with my character I have a computer with me. So I guess I have a bag. I'm gonna go through and say, will this help us get into security feed?
You pull out a full laptop.
Yeah.
You're just carrying around a laptop.
Well, I have to come up with my plans. It's okay, it's cheap. It was only $5,000.
As this has been said, we're going to comic panel slightly turn as watching this from the observation. A figure with a very thin gait to them watches all of this, their finger tapping at the lenses of a World War I style gas mask that has been modified in such a way that it is pressed in a bit closer. Their eyes shift from one screen to the other as they look over to the computer terminal next to them. All right, little mouse. Let us make the games far more interesting, shall we? And as they press a button, the lights in the morgue go off. And that is where we are closing the comic book for today.
Wow. How dare you?
Love it.
How dare you?
Thank
That's
you all.
fantastic.
Thank you all so very, very much for joining us for episode 1 of 3 of Gotham by Grasslands. Thank you, Apoch, for hosting me. Guys, also thank you everyone for the donations to Black Girls Rock. This was super awesome. We already have so much coming in. It's awesome thing we are doing to support. I cannot thank you all enough for that. Also, thank you to our sponsors of Transplanter RPG. You guys are super special, awesome for sponsoring us. So happy that again we're able to do this stuff. Check out Apochromatic Unlimited on Blue Sky for updates. The much better social media platform. Everyone, let's go. Where can we find y'all? What are y'all doing? Let's start with Q. Q, what are you doing? Where can we find you?
Hi, I'm Q. You can find me out on the internet at Midnight Inc. That's Midnight _INQ. Q is my name. I'm sure you get it. Save a horse, ride a cowboy. I keep making cowboys. I am a part of the production team for Tales from the Table Studios. If you see the overlays over there, it's likely I had a hand in it. I'm also over on Live from the Apocalypse and Entropy Emporium. I have a bunch of shows on both of those channels, so come and see about me. Also going to have some games coming up over at Tales from the Table Studios. We are also hosting events this month for the Chicago Fire mutual aid, because boy howdy has this year been a time already.
It is February.
It is now February. Yeah. So yeah, come over and see us there. We got things going on, but I'll of course be back here to continue this series.
Sparrow.
Hi, hello. I am your favorite burb on the interweb, A Black Sparrow. You can find me at A Black Sparrow, most places at ablacksparrow.com on Blue Sky, not at .bsky.social. You can also find me this upcoming Monday for the finale of season 1 of Mass Effect Mirage that I'm running over at Feywild and Out. So that is twitch.tv/Feywild and Out and feywildandout.bsky.social. Otherwise, most places, Instagram, Threads, they're all A Black Sparrow. So if that's where you can find me the best.
Janie.
Hi, I'm Janie. Janie Potts or Janie Potts 7575 on different places. Janie, I think it's just Janie Potts on Blue Sky. And let's see. This week, on the 6th, I have a finale for a game I've been running for a while on the Singularity Roleplay. It's called a Monster of the Week game called Winter. And other than that, I'm just doing this right now. I think there might be another game Saturday. I'm not sure. I'm just going to stop because I'll ramble. I'm bad at this part.
Lex.
Hi, I'm Lex. I also go by Ford of Air on the internet. You can find me on Blue Sky. Not Twitter anymore. I don't know why I was about to say that. I haven't been there for 2 years. Which, sometimes. And Patreon. I illustrate, I play games, and if you need NPC art, I got some royalty-free packs for you to go look at. So, there you go.
And then, hi, it's me. I've been your DM. I'm Javante. You can find me on Blue Sky under my name, or sadly, still on Twitter under my name. Stuff that I do. Hey, you like anime? Bi-weekly Thursdays, I run Set Sail, a One Piece D&D adventure. Also, on Opposing Thursdays, I run Blood and Cinders, a story set in the world of Somnus Domina by Logan Laidlaw. Also, do you like Power Rangers? Apparently I do. I'm in every Power Rangers game. If you check those out, I'm over on Paige's channel, Pluto Cleric. I'm also work with Arclight Court. I do a bunch of stuff with that. And catch me on Twitter as I start to release steadily stuff about the TTRPG I'm working on called Acts of Sodom. If you enjoy slight cyberpunkian prototype themes and also like the story path system, check that out. Other than that, yeah, normally you could just find me roaming around the different internet platforms. Thank you all so much for being a part of this. Please tune in for more of our Black History Month games over on Apochromatic. I love you all so very, very much.
Like the one that comes on after this.
Yeah, like the one that comes on directly after this. Please stay tuned. There's so much stuff happening. It's super special, awesome. Love you all, and I'll see you next time.
We did it.
That was so awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Can they still hear us?
I don't think they can.
Let me check.
Well, if you can.
Yep.
Well, if you can, thanks for
Yes,
watching.
we can. They're not
No.
muted. Hi.
Hello.
Thank y'all for watching us.
Hopefully we can get the captions business done up good for next time.